Welcome everyone to the Power in Your Voice podcast. I am your host, Linda, where we'll be talking about life experience and how it's meant to keep you moving. Often we get up and we mask our hurt and our pain. Yes, that's what I said, life experience. We all have them. So we're going to learn here to deal with our issues and achieve goals because every power has a story. All right, welcome back to the Power in Your Voice podcast. It is always our pleasure that you come and listen to us. Thank you for allowing us to come in your kitchen, your gym, your bedroom, wherever you are listening to us today. Thank you so much. Y'all, as always, we have gathered in again a great topic. I pray that you have been enjoying all of the things that we've been talking about, but today is called Watch Your Low Places. Oh my God, that by itself will have you to pay attention. Watch your low places. Now, I have some amazing people on here. You know who it is. It is my family, you all. I am just so blessed that God has blessed me with the type of children that he has given me, the type of grandchildren, and y'all, they are on the podcast. My oldest daughter, Renice, is on here. We're going to start out with her today. Renice, let's talk about watch your low places. Come on, hit me.
Oh my goodness, watch your low places. I've been thinking about this we was talking about watching our low places. I got to take it to the Bible on this one because I was thinking about when in your low places, you have to be careful with your decisions in your low places, because in your low places, that's where we can often make bad decisions because of what we think can happen to us. And I was reading about Abraham and Sarah when they was going to see the king, and he told them that Sarah was his sister, and the man went to sleep, and God began to deal with him, and he was getting ready to kill him, and he said, "Wait a minute, I'm innocent in this." And in his innocence, he went back to Abraham and he said, "You almost got me killed." And I thought about Abraham, because he thought that he was going to die. He told them, yes, Sarah is my sister. And so I said, man, we have to be careful in our low places with the decisions that we will make, thinking that we will be in harm's way, because we can make some of the best decisions or some of the worst decisions in our low places. We just got to make sure that when we're in that place, we have to learn how to have a sound mind, because in your low place, your mind is everywhere. Your thoughts are everywhere. So you have to be very, very careful at that point that you don't cause death on yourself or somebody else in your low places of making a decision.
That is so powerful. Wow, because he did. Abraham, we're talking about this man in the Bible, you all. This man was a man of faith that God made him to be. And he had to go to some places that he didn't want to go, so he thought his life was on the line. So he thought if he told his lie, it would save his life. But even in that, he almost had someone else killed. So what that brings me to, Renice, is Abraham had to be disappointed in something that God asked him to do. Y'all, don't you know in your low places, you can have some disappointment. Ebony, come on, talk to me about some disappointments in your low places.
That is so funny. Y'all call on me because Monday I definitely had a low place. I recently started a new position in a company, and it was the company that I was like, Lord, I want this because there's opportunities, there's this, there's that. Well, God granted me what I asked for. But after Monday, having the day that I had in my low place, I said, I'm going to apply for another job. I'm just done. I said, I can't do this. So it is so funny that we are talking about this as if it happens so quickly. Your mind, as Pastor Renice said, your mind will be all over the place. Now, I know God told me before I got into this position, everything's going to work out. everything's gonna be fine. But when I had the low place and the day that I had Monday, I ain't heard nothing God said.
My God.
I'm just reminded of when we're encouraged and we built up before we go through a storm or before something happens. And then next, something happens and we like, I don't know. Is it really? I don't know. So man, y'all, that's a good topic right there. So yes, that was good.
I love it. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of times in your low places, I don't want us to downplay it. Because what you were really feeling, Ebony, it was real. Oh, yeah. It was a real thing. And so many times we like to downplay what we feel. Come on, Jalen, talk to me about when we are in our low places. I don't want to downplay it. Come on, talk to me.
That is so true. I remember at one point in time, I was in school and I had a lot of stuff going on and I was in my low place. And I remember I went and laid on Dr. Linda's lap. I love to lay on her lap and she would just run her hands through my head and we was just talking. And she said, well, what did the Lord say? I said, I don't know. I can't hear him. Y'all, I kid you not, that's a true story. And it was like, when you get to, that's when you know you really love him. You can't even hear God's voice no more. Wow. So it makes you think, how do you regulate your mind when you get to that low place? Because when you get to this low place, some people, they turn to alcohol. Some people, they turn to drugs. Some people, they turn to sex. Like, there's so many different things that people could turn to. So you have to get to a point to regulate your mind and say, no, I'm not going there. Like, I have to find a way to be better than this. Because when you get to a low place, a lot of people call it rock bottom. And once you rock bottom, there's nowhere else to go but up from there. You can't get comfortable at rock bottom, but you have to want to become better.
I like that, Jayla. I have my grandson and my granddaughter, Jada and Davion on here. When you feel like you are let down in your low place, let's deal with when you feel like you've been let down in your low place. Come on, Davion and Jada, hit me.
Man, y'all been saying some good stuff. Talking about when you've been let down in your low place, man, that's something crazy because you're already low. You already feel like you want to quit. You already feel like you want to give up. And man, even speaking to myself, I don't know who needs to hear this, but one of the worst decisions that someone can make in their low place is giving up, because darkness or low places, they never last forever. They never last forever, because even when you look back in hard times from before, it ended eventually. Yes. So if you would have gave up, or even in times where you did give up, I'm sure it's like, man, what if I would have just kept on going? Yes. So even if it's hard, and I know like it'll be discouraging at times, but man, if we could just learn how to take this thing one day at a time, one step at a time, and just keep on going, man, we'll be better off and we'll be stronger when we come out of it too.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Yes. What you got to say about it, Jada?
I started thinking about how a lot of the times when the Lord gives me a word, I'm expecting it to go perfectly, because the Lord tells me that every great gift is from him. And so I'm thinking it's going to be perfect. I always know it's not going to be easy all the time, but I'm thinking the Lord sent it, the Lord blessed it, so it's going to be perfect. And then when the Lord tells you something and then the opposite comes. Yes. And so the enemy likes to beat you when you're down. Yes. And you just got to hold on and grip on to something, like my husband said, because it's always going to get better. You got to grip on to something good and not let yourself spiral out of control, because we know when we're spiraling most of the time, but you got to not let yourself spiral out of control and get through it. Try your best to get through it, because it won't last forever.
I love it. I love it. I got to bring my son Wes into this. Check this out, Wes, because we know that pain is real. Oh my God. When you are in your low place and that pain look like it's going to overwhelm you, what is something that Jada just said, okay, I got to hold on. But this pain is real, God. Why did you do this? I feel like I'm being let down, even though I know this is what you told me, but I feel like I'm being let down. Come on, Wes, talk to me.
No, this is a really good subject. And yeah, man, being in that low places is tough. You know, like you said, those letdowns, they come, and sometimes it's hard to shake, and a lot of times you just really have to get into that mindset of, changing your mind from, being in that down place, that pit of despair or whatever, to kind of see it in a different way. Because it reminds me of a long time ago, continuing to work through getting promoted in the military. And I remember my wife, she kept telling me for a long time that, they was going to give me this promotion. And I'm thinking that it was going to come through me going into the testing room, and after the results came out, I would end up getting promoted. And 3 times passed by, and every time I didn't make it. And that last time I missed it by 2 points, and that hurt. Sometimes is you feel better to miss it by a lot than a little bit, because you was just that close. And that last time, man, it really stung. And she just kept saying, I don't know how God gonna do it, but the Lord just kept saying they're gonna give you that promotion. And matter of fact, it's so funny that we was looking at the pictures today, and it was, December 23rd, 2009. And that's exactly what happened. They came and brought me that stripe and promoted me right there on the spot. And it was hard, coming out of that testing room thinking that you did well, and, you sink to that place. But then you just have to continue to remember through it all. You got to remember what God said. And, just like always, he always comes through with his word every time.
I love it, because some things are very painful. And that's why we're talking about watch your low places. I'm so man, this thing right here is really real, because in a low place, you all, that mindset, it can be so crucial. And the reason why it's so crucial is because the enemy knows that you can't think. He already know that everything that is bothering you, that is already bogged up in one place. And so he messes with your thought process, and he causes you to start getting into a place where I can't do it. I can't pull through this. I don't know what else to do. Those are called low places. You have to understand that when you're in a low place, y'all, that alignment is going to play a big part of watching your low place. If you don't keep in alignment, what's going to happen is you're going to find yourself going all over the place. When you think of a wheel alignment, let's think of a wheel alignment. When you have an alignment, you can be in your car and you can be driving, you can eat, you can talk on the phone, you can talk to other people. But when that wheel is out of alignment, it is either going to pull to the left or the right, which means it is not steady. And when you are in a low place, you have to understand you're not steady. Oh, wow, that's good right there. And if you don't watch it, you'll be all over the place. And so what I want us to do, I want to do what Jada said. We got to understand that something better is going to come out of this. So what I got to do is I have to hold on to this. What you holding on to? Better is coming. Better is coming. The next thing I want us to do is don't downplay it. Deal with it. God, help me. This is what I'm facing. This is where I am. And if you don't come and get me out of this low place, guess what? When we say come and get me, that means send somebody that's going to speak something positive in my life. That is me. Send somebody that's going to make a difference. Send somebody that's going to shed some light on what I'm going through. That's what I mean about, listen, God will do what he promised that he is going to do. He is going to bring you out of that place. Somebody say it with me. Even while you're listening, watch your low place. I know you're listening out there. Say it with me. Watch your low places. If you don't watch your low places, the enemy is going to take over you. Not only do he take over, he controls you. You don't want the enemy to control your thought process. Oh my God. I got to bring in Ebony again. Ebony, come on. Don't let the enemy take over your thought process. Talk to me.
Ooh, y'all, I have been in that place before where I have let the enemy drive me to a place where I did not want to be. Like she is saying, don't downplay that thing and think that it is easy. Y'all, it took some time. I want to say it took almost a year before that mind got right again. But what I'm reminded of, the best scenario I can sum up how I had to get to this place is I'm reminded of when we were growing up and we used to drive to Arkansas. Every time coming out of Arkansas, it always looked like Kansas City wanted to rain. And I remember my dad would slow down. And that him and my mom would always say, we just got to keep moving. You put them flashers on, your hazards, and you keep moving. Because if you stay there, you're going to stay in the storm. But if you keep moving forward, you're going to come out of the storm. So that's how I had to be, y'all. Every day I had to get up, put makeup on, get dressed, because my mind was in a place where it wanted to sit in a dark room. It didn't want nobody to talk to me, and it didn't want to have joy, and it didn't want to have faith. I didn't want to trust nobody, but I had to get up each and every day that I took my child to the park, speaking to everybody. Didn't want to, but I had to. So that is the best scenario I can give you, is to keep moving.
I love it. You have to, because if you don't, guess what? That thing will keep you lower than what you need to be. Y'all, let me tell you, I don't know about you, but all of us have had some low places. And that's why we're talking about it today, because you got to watch. Jalen, come on, tell them something about watching that low place again. It's very, very important about watching that low place. Jalen.
Okay, y'all, I'm just going to leave y'all with this. It is important to know who you are, but it is even more important to know who you are not. Because when we're talking about that mind and how the enemy can control your mind, you have to be able to recognize when the enemy is taking you to a place that you are not. You got to learn how to say, hold up, that ain't me. You have to recognize when the enemy is implanting those thoughts, and you got to say, hold up, that's not me, and that is not God. That's the enemy. And you got to learn how to cast those thoughts out. So you got to know, it's so important. Know who you are, but know who you are not as well.
I love it. Y'all, it is always our pleasure that when we come, I pray that whoever is listening, God will do an amazing thing in your life. Don't you dare fall into your low place. And that's why we said, watch it. You may be low right now, but troubles don't last always. Know who you are and know who you're not. Know that God has designed us and he has a plan for our life. I thank you again for listening to the power in your voice. Tell your friends, tell your mama, tell everybody, your enemy. Tune in. God bless you and peace out.